Alright, so this video is going to be a shorter one just for some spinal mobility. So I'll have you come down onto your mat, onto your hands and knees, and then we're going to go through a cat-cow flow. So I'm going to tuck my chin, round up through my spine, my shoulder blades, tuck my tailbone underneath as far as I can. When I can't go any further, think of pressing your palms and your knees away from each other through the mat and lift up higher. Come away from that. We're going to go to our opposite position here, shoulder blades down, lifting the head. When you can't go any further, you're going to pull the palms and the knees towards each other and deepen that stretch. Again, lift, tuck, press away. Pulling towards. One more of each. Remembering to breathe. Okay. Then we're going to go side to side. So if you just lift up one of your feet, I'm going to have you turn your shoulders and your gaze towards that foot, trying to shorten that side. But more important, lengthening the other side. So as I turn here, I'm going to let the shoulder follow my head and ear around. Okay, so it's more about the opposite side than the one that you're turning towards. Good, then we're going to add a bit of rotation in. So one hand is going to open up towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to come down as I bend that opposite elbow, reach as far as I can. Open again, open both shoulders, not just the one up towards the ceiling. When you go underneath, reach as far as you can till you lay on that shoulder. Another little helpful tool is when that hand reaches underneath, you can press it down into the floor and look up to the ceiling. Let's do the other side. Lift and open. Under and reach. What I'm doing is I'm going to my end position of each stretch, pausing for a moment and seeing if I can just find another centimetre or two. Okay, then we're going to take our attention to the pelvis here. I'm just going to start with tucking underneath and then extending my lumbar spine. So lifting my belly, squeezing my glutes to flex, relaxing my stomach down, lifting my tailbone up to the ceiling. I'm going to add in some lateral flexion here to turn that into a circle. So I'm trying to draw a circle with my sacrum, with the tip of my spine, without bringing the rest of the spine into it just yet. And then we'll reverse that. Then we're going to reverse again, only this time we're going to increase it by starting to bring the rest of the spine into the movement. So start with my pelvis, and then I bring more of my mid-spine into it. Starting to bring the upper spine into it. And then I could also bring my head into it. Don't worry if you get confused. This is just movement. You should notice that you're passing through cat-cow here as you're doing this movement. Okay, come back to the center and we're going to reverse those circles now. And just gradually over time, getting larger and larger. we'll just open the knees wide and sit back in a child's pose for a moment, taking some deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. We'll come back to all fours again. From here, I'm going to drop to my left elbow, bring my right hand out in front of that left one so the arm is stretched out long, and then I'm going to lean away from that elbow. At the same time, I'm going to pull my left hip up to my left elbow. So what I'm doing is lengthening and stretching that whole right side. Come back to the start. I'm going to drop to my right elbow, reach my left hand out in front, and then lean away. If I leave my hips like this, I won't get as much of a stretch. If I pull my right hip up towards the elbow, it gets a deeper stretch. While I'm doing this, I could be aiming to head more down towards the mat, or I could be aiming to reach more over towards the right armpit. Just play around with that for yourself. One more each side. All right, then we're going to come down onto our stomach, just so that you're on your elbows. From here, I want you to close your eyes and take your attention into your belly and your pubic bone, and I want you to relax them both into the mat. Let them sink deeper and deeper. What we're trying to do is get our lower back muscles to completely relax here. Supporting yourself on your elbows, relaxing your shoulders, letting your belly and your hips get heavier and heavier. Relaxing your glutes. If you feel like you're completely relaxed here, you can start to come higher. You could even push onto the hands and come higher again, but only coming as high as you can be relaxed through the stomach and letting the lower back relax. Good, whatever height you're in, you could turn and look over the shoulder, just like we did before with the lateral flexion. Having that other shoulder follow the gaze around. So not just dropping one, but also bringing the other one around. And then we'll go all the way down, lift back up onto the knees and sit back in a child's pose again. And breathing. Okay, from there we're going to go on our knees, just sitting on your shins here. If you're not able to do this with your ankles and your knees all the way together, they can come apart a little bit. Also, if you're quite tight, you may want a pillow to your side that you're going to sit on. Otherwise, we're going to lift the bum up and just sit to the side, keeping the knees and the ankles together. Then I'm going to hold on to that shin and stretch back the way I came from. And from here, the lower I drop this shoulder, the more I reach that arm out, the stronger the stretch over here. Big deep breaths into that open side. Sinking and relaxing into it. Now we're going to lean forward towards the knees and lean back into the ankles. So just small rocking motions here. Continually relaxing deeper into it. Come back to the center and we're going to add a rotation. So I'm going to roll my chest and eyes towards the floor and reach. And then I'm going to roll my chest up and look towards the ceiling. Always reaching through those fingertips, not losing that reach as you roll and look up. Okay, then we're going to come up onto your shins and just lightly rotate side to side. Okay, back with the shins together, sitting off to the side, reaching up and over. Using the breath is so important. Okay, leaning towards the knees and leaning the weight back into the ankles. If you go too fast with this, you probably haven't sunk as far as you possibly could have. So just come back to the middle and see if you can relax a little bit deeper first. Really sink into yourself on this side. Make your own body support yourself. And then add the rotation. Okay, and then again, back up onto the shins and just rotating. Nice and loose. Okay, then we're going to lay on our backs. Do a couple of different movements here. The first one is I'm going to have my hands out to the side here. Still getting used to this ponytail. Oh, all right. Knees are going to tuck in tight against my chest. And as I drop my knees to one side, I'm going to turn and look the other way, as low as you're able to, so that you can then lift them back up and come to the other side. Now I'm trying to keep my knees tucked in close to my armpits as I do this, and I can use my arms pushing down into the floor to help support me. You can try adding in extending the legs out. A bit too close to the wall here. When you extend them out, they're going up towards the fingertips. All right, then I'm going to come onto one side. So just turn onto one hip on the back edge of your mat. Bring that top knee over onto the floor, and we're going to keep that there. Then with both hands reaching out in front of you, you're going to open the top hand up with your eyes, and you're trying to get the fingertips towards the floor. Now, this is a rotational spinal movement, so there's no point just using the shoulder to get your range. I want you to drop that shoulder blade back towards the floor. Okay? Think of trying to get your shoulder blades flat to the mat. Now, with all these things, it's not about how far you can and can't go. It's just going to where you start to feel resistance, relaxing in that position, not pushing, and seeing if you can gain an extra centimetre or two by spending a few moments there. All right, and then from the same position, I'm going to keep my fingertips on the floor, and I'm going to draw a circle over my head. Okay, for some people, this is going to be a shoulder stretch. For others, it'll be the spinal. For some people, maybe nothing at all. If it's nothing at all, just turn your hips to face the floor a little bit further, and that should make it a rotational stretch. You're only going as far as you can keep your fingers on the floor, so it may only be a half rep like this for you. That's okay. All right, last one, we're going to open up, and I want you to leave your hand hanging back at a 45-degree angle. And just take 3 deep breaths. You can hold this knee down if it's coming up off the floor. All right, then we'll come out of that. We'll do one of these, and we'll face the other way. All right, knee comes over to the floor, back leg is straight, arms reach out in front. We can go as far as we can forward first, and then open up. And And you'll notice, just like all the other stretches, I kind of go as close as I can to the edge of my range, and then I pause and I look for that extra couple of centimeters. Okay, next one, we're going to reach up over the head, keeping those fingertips on the floor. Aiming to get that shoulder blade in your spine flat to the mat. If you're finding the knee is lifting a lot, just holding it in place may help you get further. And on that last one, we're going to hold it there, back at that 45-degree angle, and breathe. Okay. If you come seated on the floor, just with your heels stacked one in front of the other. If the knees don't go to the floor, they could be up here, that's fine. You might want to put a pillow under them next time. From here, we're going to be reaching in different directions with our fingertips. So if I reach over to the side, it'd be nice if I could get that elbow to the floor. If not, I could support myself on my hand somewhere. Trying not to let this knee follow me, and just reaching. And from there, I'm going to start to reach off on the angle. And just slowly feeling what sensations I get through my ankles, my knees, my hips, as I work my way over to the other side. Now, if you go too quickly, you won't be going to your end range, so just sort of crawl your way from side to side here. And you're just looking for what tight spots you feel. Lower back, knees, ankles, hips. Just playing around. Some people like to press that knee down away from them. Play around with that. Okay, we're just going to swap which foot's in front and do the same thing again. Okay, last thing we're going to do from here, I'm going to turn side on so you can see what I'm doing. However your feet are comfortable, I'm going to try and round my whole spine, okay? So when I tuck my chin and sink my ribs, I want my forehead to be aiming for my pubic bone. So try and avoid going forward like this, but I'm going to bring the tips of my fingertips up to the base of my skull so that my forearms are resting on the crown of my head. And on a breath out, I'm going to start to slump. Notice I'm rolling my pelvis back so that I don't lean forward. Let the chin hang. Now we're going to have 3 deep breaths here, and every breath out we're going to slump a bit heavier. Relax those arms on the back of your head. Let your chin tuck in. Deep breath in and slump. Again. Last one. Then we're going to come out of that stretch. All right, there you go, guys. A bit of a slow spinal mobility session. We'll do one that involves some spinal waves and some more ballistic movements another time. Have a great day.